Greetings and welcome to the Introduction to Astronomy. One of the things that I like to do in each of my introductory astronomy classes is to begin the class with the astronomy picture of the day from the NASA website, that is apod.nasa.gov/apod. And today's picture for April the 13th of 2020, well, it is titled A Sailing Stone Across Death Valley. So what do we see here? Well, we see the scenery of Death Valley, very flat plains, and up above in the sky we can see our Milky Way galaxy, which is our own spiral galaxy as we see it from within. And we can see the dust clouds and the star clouds that make up the plane of our galaxy. However, today we're actually looking down closer to Earth at the great stone here, and you can see a couple of them here, one prominently centered and even another one behind it. Off in the distance. And these are stones that are what we call sailing stones that appear to travel across the floor bed in Death Valley. Now you can actually see the trail kind of behind this one, the path that it has taken. And a big question up until even a decade ago was how these things could actually move across the plain. These aren't just small little rocks. Many of these could weigh many tens or even hundreds of pounds. So they would not be easy things to move. And how were they moving across the plain of Death Valley? Now, as we see it down there, it's very hot and baked. And you can see the patterns that form when the mud, when you do get rain out there, when the mud solidifies and cracks and gives us that crackled pattern that we see. And what has been found to occur is that during the wintertime, sheets of ice can form because you do get some rain out there and it will form ice sheets, maybe less than an inch thick. And that as those break apart, then they can move. Winds will then allow it to move the stones and push the stones across the floor here. And this was first seen a decade ago by scientists who went to solve the problem to find out why these things were actually moving, and actually tagged some of them and were able to finally, back in 2013, to actually detect the motion here. Now, this does not occur all the time or every day or even every year, but maybe it's a once-in-a-decade thing that happens where you get enough water built up that then freezes and then breaks apart and forms little ice sheets that can allow these rocks to move. They don't move really fast, although maybe don't require very high winds, I should say, maybe about 10 miles per hour. And they don't move very fast, maybe only a few inches each second. So you might not even notice them moving if you were out there looking at them. So you could actually be there and the rocks could be moving, but they're moving slow enough that you might not even notice it. And of course, with the floor just out there, you don't have any reference points to see that things are moving slowly. So with no reference to be able to tell you things are moving, if something has moved a few inches from where it was a minute ago, then you may not be able to even tell the difference if you were not really sitting there watching for it. So it is one of those things that finally getting some of these rocks, putting some rocks out there that would get tagged to be able to monitor their motion and to be able to detect them, to be able to finally solve the mystery of the sailing stones of Death Valley. So that was our picture of the day for April the 13th of 2020. It was titled A Sailing Stone Across Death Valley. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be Garbled Galaxy. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.